It's heading to geostationary orbit, so it'll fly in an easterly direction away from the pad. The drone ship just read the instructions, ready to receive that first stage booster. We do have confirmation of LOX load complete on the Falcon 9 first stage, which is good. Just second stage loading is left to wrap up. SpaceX has 2 recovery vessels used to scoop up the fairing halves. For this mission, they're going to be using Bob. Coming up on the last 2 minutes before flight here. Promise we'll come back to those with your support in the live chat, but want to thank the more than 33,000 of you who are watching with us live. If you could hit the like button just before we get going to allow more folks to find this live coverage, that would be fabulous and much appreciated. And we do have confirmation of Stage 2 LOX load complete. The Falcon 9 is fully fueled with 1 million pounds of propellant. Coming up in the last minute of the count here, we do have word of ground gas closeouts, which is the venting that you're seeing here on your screen. We should also be hearing the SpaceX launch director give their go for launch in just a few seconds. We'll relay that to you as we hear it. The Falcon 9 is in startup. Coming up at 40 seconds now. And we do have word that we are go for launch. Less than 30 seconds now to the planned liftoff of what could be the first of 3 Falcon 9 rockets to launch in, well, 2 in Florida, 1 in California. Now less than 20 seconds to go. 15 seconds. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine ignition. And liftoff. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 rocket on the Eutelsat 36D mission. Falcon 9 has cleared the tower. Soaring past the American flag at the press site, this Falcon 9 is taking flight on a beautiful, sunny afternoon in Florida. Let's listen to the roar of those 9 Merlin engines. Down as the vehicle approaches max Q, or the point of greatest aerodynamic pressure. Falcon 9 is now supersonic, or traveling faster than the speed of sound. Approaching max Q. There's a call out for max Q. Coming into a little more than a minute and a half into flight. A few events are going to be coming up in rapid succession. First stage managed cutoff will happen in 50 seconds or less. That'll be followed by stage separation about 2 minutes and 34 seconds. And then second stage engine start, SES-1, at T plus 2 minutes and 42 seconds. That'll set up for a fairing deployment at just before 3.5 minutes into flight. Some great views here. This from our tracking camera, I believe. About 15 seconds till MECO. There you see MECO. Stage separation. And Merlin engine start. And some views here from the Falcon 9's onboard cameras, and a gorgeous view of the Sunshine State and of that first stage as it drifts away. A really nice reflection on the Gulf, and you can really clearly see the Indian River Lagoon here in the shot, and the Cape as well. Those hypersonic grid fins on the Falcon 9 first stage deploying there, you can see it from the onboard camera. Those little puffs of bursts you see there are the cold gas thrusters. The fairings should have deployed just a couple seconds ago. You can see those there at the center of your screen, actually. Those objects that are glinting away from the Falcon 9 second stage, those are the 3 dots there on the left-hand side. The top dot is the fairing half, the middle dot is the second stage engine, the bottom dot is another fairing half. On the right-hand side, you can see the Falcon 9 first stage booster as it is making its way down toward the drone ship. Just read the instructions, stationed down in the Atlantic Ocean. Some great tracking work from our team here in Florida. Coming up at T plus 6 minutes and 18 seconds will be the first stage entry burn. So far, everything has gone nominally with this mission, and some fantastic views from both our on-ground tracking cameras as well as the onboard views. See there the Merlin vacuum engine from the second stage onboard cameras. SpaceX will toggle the view from one side of the vehicle to the other to make sure that there's an even burn on this engine on all sides. Vehicle is on a nominal trajectory as the Falcon 9 second stage is cruising towards a geosynchronous, transfer orbit. Now about 5.5 minutes into flight. Our teams on the ground are poised and hoping to be able to catch the... Actually, may not be able to see the entry burn here just because of how far out the first stage is and its angle. You can see the speedometer is still ticking up, and in just a few seconds it will really drop down quite aggressively once the entry burn begins, essentially slamming on the brakes. And there you see the start of that entry burn, and you can watch the speedometer just plummet. There's that end of the stage 1 entry burn. A little more than 7 minutes into flight now. Now coming up The next event we'll see is the second stage engine cutoff, or SECO 1, in less than a minute at T plus 8 minutes and 7 seconds. That'll be followed by the start of the first stage landing burn at T plus 8 minutes and 12 seconds. This booster that you see there on the left-hand side of your screen, again, making its 12th flight today. A good liftoff. We're standing by to see if it'll make a good landing. You hear a call at stage 1 is transonic, traveling below the speed of sound. Now a little more than 8 minutes into flight in real time. The time you're seeing there at the bottom of your screen from SpaceX on a slight delay from this feed. You can see a little wiggle from those hypersonic grid fins, providing some stability and steering for the vehicle. And there's the start of the landing burn. You can see the drone ship coming into view. Should see on-camera view or onboard views on the drone ship on the right-hand side of your screen. Oh, they're just taking that full screen. All right. The landing legs are out. And a little hop there, but a good first stage landing on the drone ship. Just read the instructions. This was the 289th time a booster has landed. You could see the Eutelsat 36D satellite exposed to the vacuum of space, getting ready to deploy here at T plus 33 minutes and 57 seconds. Before we get to that point, though, we will see another burn of the second stage engine that's coming up at T plus 26 minutes and 45 seconds. That burn, again, will last 1 minute and 1 second. That'll set up for the deployment of the satellite, again, at T plus 33 minutes and 57 seconds. Fortunately, SpaceX has said that they are going to stick with these views and with their coverage until spacecraft deployment, so we're going to stay with you as well. This gives us a little bit of time